Now listen, all you treasure hunters, searching all around for plunder. Do you need some help to be your best? There's something that you're trying to find, but you're about to lose your mind. So come on, listen in to Estes Quest. Estes Quest, the show where he'll be sharing clues. Estes Quest will chase away your searcher's blues. He's solving puzzles with a smile. He'll help your theories pass the trial. He's welcoming you here to be his guest. Now listen close and you'll be told the clues to where he's hiding gold. So come on, listen in to Estes Quest. Come on, listen in to Estes Quest.
All right, so we're here at the first point. It's a small little hike to Quartz Mountain. On some maps, there is a trail. Wait, the car passes. All right, on some maps, there is a trail. On some maps, there's not. There's a rock around the bend that's Wizard Rock. It's got a really cool story. I like this place. It's got a good feel. The only problem is it's a little bit too close to town. We're like 5 miles outside of town. We passed the subdivision like 2 miles back.
Yeah, or less.
Yeah, so I wouldn't really consider this wilderness. I wouldn't consider it wilderness, but it does check a lot of boxes. So since I'm in the area, I kind of want to explore it. Another thing I do like is that there's a ridge right off the road. So right where you park, which Justin's talked about. He likes places that he'd hide a treasure where there's some kind of natural barrier, whether it be a stream, a ridge, a slope, a gully. And right as you park and you look, there's like an immediate ridge that you can't see over. So this would kind of deter a lot of people, I think, from looking over that ridge. So we're gonna step off and look around and see what happens. Hey, first hike down, what do you think?
It was good.
Yeah,
I learned a lot. I mean,
so I think
in terms of the process.
Your pack probably weighed, we should have weighed it before. Your pack probably weighed about 10, 15 pounds.
Maybe 10.
About 10 pounds. So you didn't carry.
Mostly my snacks.
Yeah, he brought almost all of our snacks. He didn't want to be stranded without food.
Can't ever be too careful.
You can't be too careful. Yeah, so as far as looking for a checkpoint, we saw a lot of cool trees, but trees have an issue, right, with how long they're going to be.
Right. Yeah.
But there were several trees that stood out, right?
So there's some things that made you think, okay, so, you know, if I was hiding the treasure, you know, where would I hide it? I went through the thought process of what ifs. And so that was educational for me because this is the first time I've done this.
Hey, tell them, I like what my dad brought up about, we saw a shiny silvery marker. When we got close, there was a sign on the other side that said it was a land survey marker. And share what your thoughts about land survey.
So the land survey, it occurred to me that maybe Justin did some research on that area, and if it had recently been surveyed, then he thought, okay, well, that's going to be free from somebody or the surveyors finding it, you know, unintentionally.
Because they wouldn't be back for a while.
Right. So now they've already surveyed, so they're not going to be back for a while. So I thought, okay, well, I'm safe to go out there and hide it because it reduces the chances of someone stumbling upon the treasure. Yeah,
I honestly, in all the months of thinking, I never thought about that. Trying to find out, which it should be public data, I imagine, when something was surveyed, and then Justin would hide it right after that because I guess they can't survey too often. So that's definitely something I'm going to look into if we don't find it this trip. I'm going to start researching that. Let's see. As far as trail going, it wasn't that bad. I mean, there wasn't. We hiked Mount Mitchell, and that trail was brutal because of all the roots on it. You remember that?
That beat us up pretty bad.
But this one wasn't too bad. Yeah, this one was pretty easy. If you go, there is some. Looks like there was a fire. I don't know, 2 years ago. So there's a lot of not a lot of deadfall, but a good amount.
So that's something to think about.
Yeah.
Did the fire happen before the treasure was hidden, or did it happen after?
Yeah, I'd have to go back and try to pull the exact dates for that. But again, a lot of things about this. The most exciting part is on the way back, I saw a hummingbird. So hopefully I got footage of it that I'm going to splice into. But because hummingbird, his brother had a hummingbird tattoo, which a lot of military, a lot of Navy and Coast Guard, I think it's a common thing, hummingbirds. But I don't know, it just seemed like a pretty cool sign to see a hummingbird. Of course, maybe it's like Arizona state bird, I don't know. Maybe they're all over the place. All right, that was our first spot. Again, a lot of things I like about it, the trail physically, but we are kind of close to Prescott.
Yeah, we're right across from the target. So
yeah. You can see the strip mall from here.
We probably weren't going to find it. But.
So yeah, but this is a good practice run. We're going to head to the next one, which is the one I feel strongly about. All right. I think I feel most strongly about this spot. One little hiccup, which I think is a technicality that actually works in our favor. There's a sign right before this parking lot that says pay for day use. It's a little unclear about their definition of day use, but there's parking spots before it, and on Wednesdays it's free. So that would be a great loophole that it could still be here. You just come on a Wednesday, or you just park your car on the other side where there's parking. So I think that's a little loophole, a little tricky. I think that plays in the favor. Yeah, this area looks pretty good. It's a little bit more remote. There's a lot of the visuals of the mountains that we're in. We're in kind of a basin right now. It's very striking, a lot of exposed granite, and it's very distinct. I think would be good markers. What's calling? All right, so I think there's some good markers there that I think help. So I feel pretty right. The sun picked up, the clouds moved on, it's a little bit hotter, but we got sunscreen, we got water, we got snacks, right? Got snacks.
Yep.
So we're gonna do a couple miles. There's like 3 trails here. He keeps calling. Should have put it. Okay, so there's 3 trails here. Kind of want to do down and back on either of them. Mainly, again, we're going to start down the trail and look for some sort of sign that leads us to go off trail. All right, that's about it. Second spot done. I think we're more tired in the day, but the trail wasn't that bad. I think the trail was a little bit nicer. As far as a physical clue, like a checkpoint or checksum to see, I saw like 2 massive boulders, and I kept thinking that he doesn't describe what the checkpoint is, but that line, what you seek, you already know, could refer to it. So maybe it's something else in the poem that's also at the final spot. So the double arcs on Granite Bold, I got to this area using that, but maybe that could apply again. So looking for double arcs, 2 massive boulders, a shape on the rock wall, a shape on the boulders. This area has a lot of dells, D-E-L-L, a lot of granite dells. So there's exposed granite all over the place. I like the trail, didn't look well traveled, looked pretty decrepit, so that's a good sign. The first trail we were at, there was some broken glass, some old cans, shotgun shells.
Frying pan?
Yeah, frying pan. We found a frying pan. But this one right here, there was hardly any human debris. Did you notice anything?
No.
Yeah, we didn't really notice anything, so that's a good sign. My search partner, Papa Frog here, had a pretty good idea about, he used to be a hash runner, and so he was kind of describing to me about false clues and false trails. You want to kind of elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, so, in hash running, you have the hare out in front of the group. He takes off 5 minutes before or whatever, and so what he does is he lays false trails to throw you off, and then he doubles back, and so, unfortunately, you're at a disadvantage because I didn't read the book, haven't read the book yet, but I think I need to do that. I'm just living off clues that you're giving me, but based on what I understand, there's a lot of clues that might lead you here or there, and so some of them, again, may bear fruit, and others are just part of the story,
Yeah.
And so the main clue is the main character, and so you need to figure that out. Obviously, I'm stating the obvious, but anyway, so false clues, that's a problem.
Yeah, so we're looking for,
or challenge, right?
Because every time we're in the woods, we're looking for stuff, and then we're like, oh, that's a cool rock, that's a cool tree, that's cool this, and it's like,
Let me open up my bag and put the gold in.
Yeah. And then we're looking for the, a 10 by 10 by 5 roughly, or 10 by 10 by 12, and it could be there, it could be here, it could be there. So yeah, I'm really kind of trusting that the checkpoint or checksum will be so obvious that when we're in the right area, we'll notice it. Because from what I thought was like, I had an exact area to get to, and finding out that, and I kind of knew this from other hunts, that the ground doesn't always look like it does from satellite.
Yeah.
And so that's why you kind of eventually at some point got to take a leap of faith and come out here. But all right, we're halfway done, and we're going to check out 2 more spots. All right, 3rd hike down, 1 more left. Talked a lot about checkpoints. Actually, Papa Frog here came up with a pretty good idea that metal gate that we passed at our last one, the more I think about it, that's probably the closest thing to a check. Still going. The more that I think about it, that's probably the closest thing to a checkpoint that we've seen. I mean, it's pretty clear, it's solid, it's metal, it's not going to go anywhere. Rocks you can quibble over, but I mean, this is an actual gate that you had to pass through, like lift up and pass through.
So we talked about what did Justin mean when he says checkpoint. Checkpoint could be a couple things, but a waypoint, something that you have to go through that will give you confidence that you're close by or have pretty much zeroed in on where you need to be. And so that gate, when I thought about it, I said, okay, well, that could be a checkpoint, a type of checkpoint.
Yeah, no, I really like that. The other thing that we saw on this trail was, so at the trailhead, there's a little sign that says, welcome to whatever the park, and then about a third of a mile, almost half a mile in, there's another one.
Yep.
And it said wilderness, right? It said Granite Wilderness.
You're entering
right, because
wilderness area.
Because we're in Prescott National Forest, and then inside Prescott National Forest is the Granite Mountain Wilderness.
Yes.
So that sign was on the trail. It was a big wooden structure. That could also be a checkpoint.
It could be a checkpoint. Yes.
I mean, it's especially if the clue you're looking for is Granite Mountain. I mean, that's out there. So two really good candidates for a checkpoint.
Yeah. But then bringing everything else into the equation, factoring in with the other clues.
One of the coolest things we saw was a hand. It looked like a hand, right?
Yep.
So you're gonna see the angle when I put this video together. You'll see a clip of what I'm talking about. But from the right angle, from where we were at, you turn and looked. It looked like an open hand, like 3 fingers of one and a thumb, like this, reaching for the sky. So I mean, the poem doesn't say hand; it says foot. So I don't know. That's a little bit of a stretch, but it's probably one of the coolest things I've seen as far as checkpoints or physical confirmations. The other thing I wanted to say is that this trail is probably the most hemmed in of all the other trails. The first trail, you could walk off it, no problem. There's open areas all over. Second trail was, you had a slope on one side. It went down on one side, up on one side.
Yeah.
But there were some cutoffs. This one that we just walked, it's pretty thick on both sides.
Yeah.
So we'll have to weigh all that together. All right, one final one, and then it's dinner time. Yeah.
Yep.
And then we'll put all this together, analyze it, and whatever trail we think is the best, we'll probably hit that one tomorrow again before we roll out. All right, guys. Last one of the day. I feel the best about the parking situation. It's there's no fees. A little loud. So there's no fees. It's a nice little shoulder area. Actually, it's more than a shoulder. It's a little gravel parking lot. There is a gate. You can probably see it right there, but it's unlocked. It's easy to access. So, is a gate a checkpoint? I don't know. It's something we're still thinking about. There's also a funny looking gate, like right here, some kind of anti-horse gate or something. But we're gonna go check this one out. This is the last one. It looks pretty open. Like, it doesn't look hemmed in. I think you can probably walk around. This one might have a little bit of elevation to it. We'll see. But we'll just keep our eyes open for a checkpoint. And if not, then we'll just go back to the hotel and figure out which one is our best chance and hit that one tomorrow. All right, here we go. All right, well, the first thing is we put on probably about 8 miles, pretty close to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, about 7 or 8, maybe a little bit under 8. And I'm really reconsidering my parameters for how far I think Justin went. Again, we had, our packs are probably about 10 pounds, maybe.
Yeah, at the most, probably.
Yeah, somewhere around there. And so if we think that Justin is split the 60 into 4, because he made 4 trips, that's like 15, right? And if we put him at the outer limit of his mile that he said, even 3/4 of a mile, like you're approaching 6, 7, or 8 miles, right? Injured, coming back from an injury, and you throw in elevation, you throw in terrain, you throw in rocks on top of all that. It just made me rethink the type of area I'm thinking, because none of the trails we did individually were too bad, but when you do them all back to back to back to back, it is, and of course, we're not star athletes here, but if I read the book correctly, Justin was coming off of, laying up also. So he probably wasn't in peak condition. So I think my future spots are going to be closer to the road, but for that to happen, I need to be further out in the wilderness. Almost every trail we were at, you could hear a car at some point. And in my mind, I'm thinking that that you have all that money on you. You might have more money in the car, right? If you're making those trips, maybe the other rest is in the car.
Yep.
And so, I mean, the last thing you want to hear is cars and people driving by. I mean, we didn't run into that many people. We ran to one hiker all day.
Yeah.
So one hiker all day, and we saw a family in the distance.
So we're looking for a more secluded.
More secluded, yeah. So I feel good that the trails weren't that traveled, but I think a further spot away from town and people and roads, I guess, a less traveled road is kind of what I'm going to be looking for in the future. As far, I liked different things about each spot we went to. Like one spot, I loved the parking area. One spot, I loved the trail. One spot, I thought had a really cool checkpoint. This place, I haven't even brought up yet. You're going to see photos. It looks like an Angzar on the rock. And then my Papa Frog next to me pointed out that one looks like a fish head. And sure enough, it did. So, I mean, we found what, a really tall vertical rock. Like, we found a lot of cool things. But when we thought about it, I'm like, there's always a little bit of doubt. Is this the checkpoint? We didn't run into anything that was
take us
this
off the trail.
Yeah, that would take us. Yeah. That's another thing. When we saw what we thought would be a good checkpoint, it wasn't clear where to go next. It was the trail was either hemmed in, or it was so far in the distance that it wasn't clear how to get to. So again, maybe that's the right thing. Maybe, you know, the checkpoint is you see it somewhere and you know in the right area, and then you have to figure it out from there. I don't know. I've got a lot to do. Got to go back to work on. We're still hopeful that put our heads together, sleep on it. Lightning bolt will hit in the middle of the night,
maybe,
and we'll figure out the right one to go to, or if not, you know, we'll use all this going forward. But we got a lot of good footage, so hopefully, if anyone's interested in Arizona, you can get a look at what the terrain looks like. All right, so, all right, that's enough for today.
That's it. Out.
All right, here we are on our last day out here. We're gonna do our, I guess, fifth march out here, and. And talking over last night, there was one trail where we didn't, I guess we didn't fully go down. I looked on a map, and I think I threw off my pace count because the first part of the trail we were kind of going left and right, branching off, looking around. So I was using a distance traveled to measure where a mile was. So by the time I looked at it, I was like, oh man, we've already gone like most of a mile. We really hadn't from the parking lot. I was just walking around too much. So look, also we shared some stuff in Discord, and completely free with no promise of getting cut into any percentages. Some people shared some information based on what I had shared, and so I think this trail is probably if any one of these trails is going to have it, this trail that we're going to go to today is probably going to have the highest chance. So we're going to go out there. Maybe the problem was we didn't go far enough, so we're going to go a little bit further. Probably leaning more into the fact where when Justin said you'll go like you don't need to travel more than a mile to know where the treasure's at. So a little leaning heavily on that making that do a lot of work in that sentence, thinking that okay, you go a mile, you see something, you see a checkpoint, you see whatever, and then you may go a little further. All right, so again, have to it's really important, I found, that the more you have stuff memorized, because you're gonna have a lot of questions when you're out there in the woods, and the last thing you want to do is like stop and break out a computer or open your book. So the more information you can have memorized, so you can answer those questions in your head when you're tired and sweaty and thinking, wait, what did Justin say again? So that's some good advice for me, myself, and for everyone who's gonna do this. You're gonna go boots on the ground, try to memorize as much as you can what your parameters are. So when you're out there sweating, you're not second guessing, wait, what did he say again? Do I have to go? Because then you don't want to waste. The worst thing you would want to do is waste a boots on the ground trip, right? All the time and effort spent getting out there, and then you get home and you realize, oh, that's not what he said, right? But the town of Prescott will say some great things about it. We ate dinner last night at the Palace.
Great place.
Great food, great atmosphere.
Yeah.
My Papa Frog is a real big fan of the movie Tombstone, And so we didn't even know. I'm like, why is there so much tombstone? And it turns out, what was the reason why?
Well, so the Wyatt, the Earps, Wyatt and Virgil, they spent some time in Prescott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before Tombstone.
The place is paying homage to not just the movie, but the character, the individuals.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool.
And so there is a couple, we actually want to go back and watch Tombstone when we get back, because there's a couple throwaway lines that really add to the character. And these are based on real people.
Yeah.
So anyways, can't say, it's a great little town. We stayed at St. Michael's.
I think it was called.
Yeah, something like that hotel. Really nice place.
Throwback place.
Yeah, a little throwback. And then we had some coffee, the Wild Iris.
Wild Iris.
Yeah, pretty good coffee. Pretty good.
Yeah.
So we're fueled up. We're ready to go. And I don't know. Hopefully we come back rich. We'll see. All right, you got Frog and Papa Frog here again. So after thinking about everything, talking it over, looking back at our notes and our videos, I don't feel hopeless for this spot. There's some places that I've been to with other hunts where within 30 minutes, you know this is not the spot. Or places that you go, you search it one time and you're like, okay, it couldn't be here. There's still a pretty good possibility. Like, it checks off a lot, like you were saying, it checks off a lot of boxes. Yep. This area does check off a lot of boxes. It may not be perfect, but that could be on our interpretation. Maybe we got something wrong. So we're coming back to this trail. This is trail 261. I still haven't found the petroglyphs. There's apparently petroglyphs on this trail, a little bit off trail. Not that I think that the gold would be there, because it'd be highly visited, but it'd be cool to see them. So we're gonna go down here. Looking at my maps yesterday, I don't think we walked far enough. So we're gonna walk a little bit further. We might even push the mile boundary a little bit, just because it may be, again, our own interpretation that we got wrong. So we're gonna step off. We took our Advil, right? So we took our Advil. We're hydrated. We got a Gatorade. It's our last day, so we got a little celebratory Gatorade in there, and we've got plenty of time. I think we've got at least a 3-4 hour window before we have to head back to Phoenix. We're probably not going to use all that, but so that means we can go to a nice easy pace, really take in the scenery, really look around. There's no rush, and yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, so reached the turnaround point, found another gate up here, which I like the idea of the gate being a checkpoint.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, pretty noticeable. Not gonna really go anywhere. Beautiful country out here. We did push the mile limit. I think even straight as the crow flies, we're about 1.25 miles. But leave some leeway. Maybe we missed something at the mile mark. Walking distance is probably closer to 2 miles as far as walking, but I want to check it off the list since we're already out here, so might as well, sweat a little bit more just so we don't have to come back, make sure we didn't miss anything. And it did, for the first mile, I would say the trail's pretty hemmed in to the right, because we noticed, Papa Frog called it out, we had a tendency to, when we went off trail, we always went to the right. And we were thinking about it, why is that? And it's because the mountain's on the right. So we had a natural tendency to, when we thought we saw something, or when it's time to go off the trail, or when we walked off trail, we went toward the mountain. So that's something to study, look up, are we biased that way? Would Justin use that in, or build something to counter that. So on the way back, we're still gonna, because we're looking for checkpoints and we're looking for visual cues and auditory cues. Several times we heard babbling brooks, or we heard a spring, and so that's kind of an indicator to stop and explore around. But those are kind of just our thoughts from getting out here. Again, we pretty wilderness-like. You know, we saw one guy.
Yeah.
Right. We saw one guy. We saw some horse poop. Some maybe one set of tracks. It rained last night, but it doesn't look like it's too. And the trail's kind of overgrown. A lot of the fencing is kind of overgrown. The place where we stopped, we wanted to get there, even though it was at the border of the mile or past the mile, because it was an X. There's a 2-trail intersection, and interestingly enough, 3 sections of fencing that are there were X's. So there was 3 X's there. The rest of the fencing was just straight, like post with 3 things of barbed wire, but the 3 near the gate were X's. So that was kind of interesting. Definitely saw some cool rocks, but I think we're gonna start heading back. There's a few things we want to check out on the way back, but those are kind of just our thoughts. Do you have any thoughts right now?
Nope.
Thoughts? Nope. All right, starting to warm up a little bit, so we're gonna head back. All right. You're kind of in the middle. All right. Woo. Hey. All right. All right. Woo. Well, I'm glad we did most of our hiking yesterday, because today was definitely hotter.
Yeah.
Yeah, hotter, and we only it's 12 o'clock right now, so the sun's hitting the peak, and we're done for the day. So that's good that we got out really early. Let's see, some lessons learned here. I think next time I come out, I want to have more exactness. I've heard people solves. I thought mine was pretty exact. I had some elevation, I had some directions, and quickly I went to those and nothing was there, and I didn't see a checkpoint on the way. So we spent the majority of our time like walking and looking for some indicator of a checkpoint or check mark, right? So next time I come back, I want either more exactness, which is good to know, or a better understanding of what the checkpoint is, right? So maybe Justin shares some more information about what we're looking for, or maybe I get an idea from the book or something like that. So because we quickly found when you're out there, almost every tree or every rock looks like it could be something, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what you're saying. But I still like, again, what Papa Frog said about that metal gate. That's probably up there. And then that wilderness sign.
Yeah, that metal gate it's out there,
but if there's another trail with a metal gate closer,
yeah.
Right? And I guess I'll have to do some more research about why they put those and where they put those. I think it's something to do with horse trails have them, something to do. But that was pretty good indicator there. Toward the end, we also found a bench that it said benchmark on it, and a benchmark could be like a checkpoint, but there was nothing really around that area. So good idea what to look for. All in all, good. I mean, we're safe. We didn't get hurt,
yeah,
right?
There you go.
So thank God for that. No dangerous animals, right? So we're gonna get some lunch, get a good salad, and head
Get
back.
some good Arizona shrimp.
Yeah. Papa Frog, I said, what do you want for lunch? He said, I want a good shrimp salad. We're Arizona. Arizona shrimp. No offense if any Arizona people are watching this. I'm sure you have some lovely shrimp restaurants. But anyways, I think that's it. I'll probably do one more video, maybe at the airport. We do want to say, both of us want to thank Justin, right? Because we had a great time.
Yeah, we had fun.
We had fun out here, made a lot of memories,
Yep.
right? Not that we need an excuse to see each other, but it was a good reason to get together.
Yep.
And take.
We'll do it again.
Yeah, definitely do it again. We're not giving up.
Nope.
We might put Prescott in the back burner, but we'll see if we can find any other spots.
We'll bring a bigger backpack next time.
Yeah. That's probably where we went wrong. Was our backpack wasn't big enough.
Yeah. Our faith. We need to work on our faith.
But yeah. So thanks again, Justin, for doing this. For putting this out there, creating the opportunity for us to do this. Really enjoy it. Any final words?
Nope. Thanks again, Justin.
All right. Later.